Hey guys, DJ here at Top 10 Carding Games with a third take on trying to record this video. Something's gone wrong every other time. But I'm going to go over Thunder Dragon Shaddolls today. I think Thunder Dragon and Shaddolls got a lot weaker this format. It was my favorite variant last format. Probably not the best either time, but something nostalgic and wonderful about playing Thunder Dragon to me. So, first off, we have our 3 Thunder Dragons, obviously. Then we have 3 Lilas. This is the deck's only discard creature, and it's also very, very key as it's an out to emptiness, and a light monster. And then our Shaddolls package, we have 3 Beasts. Oop, those are not in proper order. 3 Beasts, 2 Squamata, 2 Dragon, a Hedgehog, and 2 Falcos. I want to talk about 2 Falco a little bit because I've been very vocal about thinking Falco should only be a one-off. I'm playing 2 Falco in here because of the way the deck's built. I'm playing Polymerization, which we'll talk about later, which gives you a lot of access to dumps when you can just fuse with Thunder Dragon. So you can easily set up Falco plays, or you can easily dump a Beast and just set Falco with your normal summon. So I'm trying 2 in here. My extra should probably be adjusted a little more to accommodate. I'll talk about changes I want to make to that in a little bit. But that's my reasoning for running an extra Falco in this list. Then we have our Chaos Monsters, which they let you be a lot more proactive, they let you deal with boards much easier, and they put a lot of damage out there. So, not much to say about those. We have Thunder Dragon and Shaddolls Monsters, so they're going to be pretty easy to summon. Then, for spell cards, geez, not spell monsters. We have 3 Reckless, God, I am so off today. 3 Upstart, and 3 Shaddolls Fusion. Upstart, not much to say. Shaddolls Fusion, not much to say. These are just staples of Shaddolls decks. You'd argue Upstart isn't, but I think now more than ever it is. Then we have 2 Polymerization and 1 Super Poly. Again, Super Poly is pretty staple. Polymerization is worth a little more discussing. Obviously, it's not a new idea by any means, but I think this card is actually good in Shaddolls' this format. Whether it is a one-of in your generic version or multiples in here. You could even play 3 in this list, I think. It's something I actually want to try, just playing the 3rd copy of it and seeing the results. The cool thing about playing Polymerization is it lets you be super aggressive. Now we aren't just limited to 1 fusion per turn, we can make multiples. And if we play more polys, we can just keep playing more guys, which is sweet. It lets us put a lot of damage on the board. It lets us clear up our all-monster hands, which are the weakest hands of the deck. And it lets you just deal with problems overactively. Like, even though it's not ideal by any stretch, like you can play this without a fusion in your graveyard and make a construct, and then you can either set up a play, like let's say we fused with Falco, we can send a Beast, or even if we just want to send or whatever we fused with, and then send like fusion to our graveyard, so if they kill our construct, we get a fusion back, you can set that play up. So it's actually very, very useful in the deck the way it's built now. Then we have just another pair of one-ofs, a Lure of Darkness and Soul George. Not much to say about those. Spell that's notably missing is Foolish Burial. I would like to play Foolish. I might fit it in again later, but for the time being, I felt that I didn't want to get rid of any more Shaddolls monsters just to dumping them. I thought that Shadow Games did enough of that. I wanted to leave some Shaddolls in my deck to use with the more construct plays I have available to me, since I have 3 polys, and I wanted to leave some to mill with Lila. So, on that note, we have our traps. We have 3 Sinister Shadow Games. Shadow Games is insane, especially in the mirror match, but again, not too much to say. You play, you could easily cut even a copy of this for a Foolish if you'd rather, but I think Shadow Games is really strong, especially when you're playing Burster Birth, a card that I am playing and I'll talk about in a minute. Then we have 3 Vanity Emptiness. I'm not going to talk about Vanity, it's the best card in the format. Then 2 Burster Birth. Burster Birth lets you pay 2,000 to set a monster from your graveyard face down. This is, again, really, really big when you can use it in conjunction with Polymerization plays. So you can easily just fuse, dump for poly, or for construct rather, and then Burst or Birth back a Beast. Or even just end phase Shadow Games, dump Beast, Burst or Birth Beast, which puts you so far ahead. Then we have 1 Compulse, and I'm playing Bottomless Trapple. You can either play Book or Warning or whatever the hell you want in this spot. You can play, it should be a defensive card though. The deck can't play 0 defense, obviously. Yeah, Warning's probably the next best option. I decided not to play it. I haven't tested enough with the Burster Births to know if the payments would be too much, like way too greedy. Probably not, since I was playing 3 Soul Charge before, so we're on a pretty similar number of life point payment cards. So you could probably just get away with Warning, but I figured I'd try Bottomless. Again, I would like to try the 3rd Polymerization in here. I probably will add that pretty soon. the Shaddolls numbers are always worth tweaking. Not playing Mathematician is, I don't want to say suspect because I don't think it's necessary by any stretch of the imagination, but I do think it's a very good card worth considering. Then we got the extra deck, which, well, we'll just go through and then talk about it. We have our level 4s, or rank 4s rather. We have Castell, Giant Hand, Nightmare, Abyss Dweller. These are all really good. Nightmare is probably not necessary without Soul Charge. Could easily be a second Castell, which again, probably not necessary without Soul Charge, or any number of other utility monsters. Maybe Exciton Knight, I don't know. Then I have Volk and Pleiades. You have the Soul Charge to make the Pleiades, which is sick, but again, how often is this going to come up without multiple Soul Charge? I'm yet to find out. That's why I'm still playing it. Like, Burst of Earth makes it a lot more likely to happen in a normal situation. What I would really like to change this to, I think right now, is a Michael. Volk is staying. It's pretty easy to put multiple beasts in play. Then we have our Synchros, which right now are Stardust Spark, Leo, Black Rose, Arcanine Magician. What's notably missing is a level 6, which Goyo and Tempest Magician are both viable options. I don't think Tempest is worth it, and Goyo has been lackluster every time I've tried to make it. But I would like to try him again, and then Michael isn't in here, but you know, we already have 2 7s. We already have a lot of power in these 2 cards. Granted, we can't make Arcanite with a Thunder Dragon, which is one of the main draws. But again, we have 1 Soul Charge, so like, you know, these questions aren't like super easy to answer. They're also not super important. Then our fusion lineup is 2 Winda and 3 Construct. 3 Construct was not correct before I added Poly back in, since you only had 1 Super Poly. But with this build, like, you make this many Constructs on a lot of your games. So I would definitely recommend using the 3 Construct. You could argue for the 3rd Winda as well, though I don't think it's necessary. Maybe with the 3rd Polymerization it is. As is, I'm sticking to 2. After I test with Poly some more, maybe I'll say I want the other one. Who knows? But yeah, this is my favorite variant of the deck because of Thunder Dragon. The other cards aren't like the decision makers at all for me. Just using Thunder Dragon is a lot of fun. I really like the card. I love playing combo decks when, you know, we didn't have the greatest draw engines. I'm using Thunder Dragon just to thin out some cards. And then getting to feel very easy to summon Chaos Monsters is really sick. Chaos Sorcerer is such an, I don't want to say underrated anymore because it's really caught on with the inclusion in like Hoban's deck and some Burning Abyss lists. But for a long time, Chaos Sorcerer was just super underrated. And I think it's one of the better cards in the format, so I'm really glad it's seeing play finally. Again, with the main board, the real questionable card is Bottomless Trapple and the lack of Foolish, but I think it's correct to not play Foolish and play an extra defensive card. You could argue for cutting a Shaddolls somewhere in there, but if I put Foolish in, I would almost definitely want the extra Shaddolls, which in my case is the Falco. And same thing, the extra Falco is a little suspect to me as well, but again, if I'm going to add more dumping cards, which is totally possible, you need the extra Shaddolls, which also contributes to the problem of having clogged your hands and the reason Polymerization is good. So, this deck still has a lot of awkward like deck building flaws, such as needing to play Polymerization and wanting to play more Shaddolls so you can accommodate these cards, even though you don't want to draw more Shaddolls. So, the deck does have some issues. I think it's still the best deck in the metagame, and I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon, so it's definitely something you should be familiar with. If you guys want to see videos on like the Lightsworn variant or just the generic variant like Artifacts or even the build that focuses more on playing guys and stuff, I can make videos on those too. Just let me know down in the comments below. Whatever you're feeling, I'll make videos or gameplay for any of the decks you guys are interested in. But right now I just want to talk about my favorite variant and just go from there. So thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you're interested in down below, and I'll be back soon.